Why I want to make this particular video is because I want to explain why the politician Marjorie Taylor Greene constantly says ridiculous things. Alright, first of all, you've got to understand something. You've got to understand that being a politician in America is a privileged position. Not only do you get a salary, not only do you get a great level of influence, but you make a lot of money, in addition to your salary. You can most politicians, they establish nonprofits, they establish these companies so that their political donations can filter through those companies. And basically that's the name of the game. The name of the game is to generate influence and to generate money. So people like Majorie Taylor Greene, what they do is they analyze what the people want. They analyze what particular group of people is gravitating towards their message. What particular group of people is willing to listen to them. What particular group people identify with their particular persona, identity, message. So politicians like Majorie Taylor Greene, they do all of this research, and then they come to a conclusion, which is, okay, this particular group of people is who I need to target. This is my supporter base. This is my audience. This is my fan base. So I've got to manifest everything that these people want. I've got to figure out what they are anxious about. I've got to figure out what they hate, what they like, what they're nervous about, what they're anxious about, what kind of vision they want, what kind of perspectives they have, what their ideology is, what their culture is. And she basically imitates this. And it's all a marketing strategy so that you can get this particular group of people to support you financially. Now, if you've noticed, every time Majorie Taylor Greene or any of these other politicians who say crazy things, after they say something crazy and it makes its way to the national news outlets and it becomes a big story, the first thing that they do is they send emails to their supporters to donate money to them. Hey, you see them, they'll have a message like, hey, you see the fake news media is targeting me over this comment I made. They're treating me unfairly. They're treating you unfairly. They don't like you. They think you're stupid. Donate money to me and I'll continue to fight. I'll represent you and fight for you. And people fall for it. People give her money. They give her donations. And typically the old the old structure of receiving money or donations for a politician used to be they had to court big companies. They had to actually build relationships with business people, companies, and they would receive their donations from these particular companies. The companies would donate money to these politicians, and they would expect something in return. They would expect these particular politicians to support legislation that will benefit the companies. A lot of politicians don't really like to be in that position. They don't want to be beholden to a particular company or a particular business in order to receive their money. So after Trump came along and Bernie Sanders came along, a new trend emerged where small donations became an alternative. You can receive small dollar donations from your base, from your supporter base. You can get $5 from this person a month, $20 from this person a month, $7 from this person a month. And if you can actually compile an email list of all of your supporters, and if you can find email addresses of people who are likely to support you, you can flood them with these emails asking for donations. And because these people are angry with America, they're angry at the direction of modern day America, they will donate to you because they identify with you as being somebody who represents their beliefs. And a lot of people don't realize this, but it's only 44 million black people in America. it's 360 million citizens in America, roughly, and only what it's only 44 million black people. So you've got to take into account that there's about 250 million white people. That's a lot of people. So Marjorie Taylor Greene understands that. She's not interested in building relationships with any other race. There's enough white people in America for her to generate a good income from. And you can say roughly half of the white population is Democratic leaning, or you can say maybe a third is Democratic leaning. Another third is, you can say, in the middle. They'll vote for the person who they think is going to make their lives better. So you can call these people independent, and you can say another third is Republican leaning. So, but it's still, each third is still a lot of people. So these politicians like Marjorie Taylor Greene can make a pretty good, substantial living just off the support from, this population of white people, this segment of white people. And in addition to getting small dollar donations, they can make money from other endeavors as well. They can write books, and these particular books might not be popular with America as a whole, but these particular books will sell out within her supporter base. They can do things like start podcasts, start radio shows. They can, charge money for speeches and things like that. So it's a lot of money. You can generate a pretty substantial $1 million income just from your small supporter base. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is aware of that, and that's why she has designed this marketing strategy where she promotes herself to the supporter base by saying these crazy things, because she knows that these crazy things are going to be viewed as heroic by her supporter base. I mean, deep down, I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is anything like her public persona. I think her public persona is something that she invented. I think it's a character that she plays. I think that in her real life, she's nothing like what she appears to be in public. I think that she created this persona because she knows that this is who I have to be in order to gain the support of these particular people that, I want to obtain money from. Because in reality, Marjorie Taylor Greene, on a personal level, is the antithesis of what these Trump supporters, these, conservatives in the South like. She's a millionaire. She's very, very wealthy. And, these people who support her, these Trump supporters, these super duper rural conservatives, they don't really like wealthy people. They think that anybody in America who's achieved a wealthy lifestyle has done so through being involved with the establishment, and they think that the establishment is evil. They think that the establishment is run by pedophiles and whatever. So it's like a marketing strategy. It's similar to wrestling. When you watch professional wrestling, you see like Hulk Hogan or whatever. He plays a character, and in wrestling, it's common for the wrestler to say bad things to the crowd, to cuss out the crowd, to cuss out another wrestler. But behind the scenes, they're all friends with each other. It's just a character that they play. And you got to look at politics that way. And the only thing that's really real about this whole situation are the supporters and what they believe in. It's about to be 2022, and there is a segment of white people who genuinely feel like there's a threat to their existence. They have this particular idea of what America is supposed to be, and they feel like the modern day version of America is, it's not it. They don't think that the direction that America is going in is reflective of what America is really about. In their minds, America should be a country that is Christian. America should actually declare that it's a Christian country. America should be strict on immigration. America should not be a country where immigration should occur. America should be a country for Americans. And they have this perception that the Democrats the liberals are trying to turn their children into homosexuals. They think that there's this conspiracy between Hollywood, the music industry, and the wealthy quote-unquote establishment. There's this conspiracy to turn their kids into liberals and to turn them gay and stuff like that. And they have a genuine hatred for anybody who's a Democrat, because they view the Democrats as the people who are steering America into this dark direction. They think that the Democrats are all, funded by pedophiles, and they think that the Democrats are, strategically trying to turn the children into liberals, and and they feel like the Democrats are a threat to their vision of America, which is an America that is more, rural friendly, because there was a point in time where America was pretty much dominated by the white Southern male. There was a point in time where, college-educated white people weren't really that dominant in American society. There was a point in time when white Southern people, rural people, had a considerable amount of influence in America, but it's no longer that way. Things have changed, and these people don't like that. These are people who glorify the Confederacy. These are people who have Confederate soldiers in their lineage, and they're proud of that. Even though the Confederacy actually were like war criminals who rebelled against America and separated and formed their own country. These are people who are proud of that particular heritage. They think it's cool that their ancestors rebelled against America. Some of them are actually considering or trying to push forward with another succession. They want the South to succeed from America again. So, and it's like these people genuinely believe these things. A lot of people think that, hey, Trump influenced these people to think this way. No, these people felt this way long before Trump came along. Long before Trump came along, there was a Tea Party. And in my state, they would put up these signs that would say things like, Barack Obama, go back to Africa, Barack Obama's a Muslim, and all of these different things. So basically, these people feel threatened by outsiders. They have this vision of America in which white people should be dominant. White people should receive all the opportunities. They have this idea that America should be dominated by white people. This is a white Christian country, and no other group of people should be competitive with white people or on the same level as white people. White people should be, light years ahead of everybody else. Everybody else should be second-class citizens, but white people should be treated with the utmost superiority. They're not going to tell you that, but that's generally what they represent. And people like Majorie Taylor Greene are smart enough to understand that, and they're smart enough to imitate that for financial gain. And the thing about these people, these supporters, are they don't see it. They don't understand that. All the evidence is there to show them that these people like Majorie Taylor Greene are manipulating them for their money, and so that they can have influence over them and sway over them. But they just can't see it. They're so desperate to find a hero who's going to turn back the hands of time that they're not even aware of the fact that they're being swindled, and it just goes to show you the level of desperation that's involved here. You got people who are creating, groups of people who are creating their own militias, people who are like proudly talking about how they're anti-government, and it's something. And this element has always been there. Like I said, all of this stuff started way back during the Civil War. You had the Confederacy, and they felt the same way about America back then as Trump supporters feel about America right now. And these particular people are still here. The Confederacy lost, America was reunited, the South and the North came back together, but that attitude continued to thrive, and it never went anywhere. It didn't die. The Confederate statues, the statues of Confederate leaders were placed in southern cities in the 1960s, not when the Confederacy was actually around. So this attitude that came from the Confederacy and this whole southern white pride thing, this whole guns, God, and religion thing, never died. You know, even though the Confederacy died, this ideology, this attitude never died. And it's here right now in the modern day form, and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are smart enough to actually take advantage of it, you know, because deep down in Marjorie Taylor Greene's heart, she doesn't support the Confederacy. You know, she's not racist. She doesn't hate immigration, but she knows that in order to not depend on big businesses to get political donations, and in order to have influence over a group of people so that she can generate an income, she has to pretend to be these things. Peace.